There is an aspect of suicide in young people whose options have all been cut off. They stand on street corners, flashing hand signs, inviting the bullets. And if they murder, the victims are usually the ones who look like them, the ones closest to who they are, the mirror reflections. They murder, and they're killing themselves over and over. The Mexicans who came to live in the San Gabriel Valley worked the fields, the railroads, or in the encroaching industry that soon dotted the valley. Their barrios had names like El Jardín, the garden, Monteflores, mountain flowers, Cantaranas, singing frogs, named for the watery inhabitants of a local swamp. Bolen, a Spanish corruption of Baldwin Park, or La Puente, the bridge. Las Lomas was an old barrio whose main rivals were to the west, in East Los Angeles, or the north, in another barrio called Sangra, a corruption of San Gabriel. The barrios which weren't incorporated, including Las Lomas, became self-contained and forbidden, incubators of rebellion that the local media, generally controlled by suburban whites, labeled havens of crime. For years, nobody ventured into Las Lomas unless they had to be there. Buses refused to provide residents there any service. Sheriff's deputies entered it with full firepower and ample backup, hardly ever alone. One of the county's most devastating increases in gang activity centered on Las Lomas. We didn't call ourselves gangs. We called ourselves clubs, or cliques. In the backlot of the local elementary school, about a year after Tino's death, 5 of us gathered in the grass and created a club. The Impersonations. The, T-H-E-E, being an old English usage that other clubs would adopt because it made everything sound classier, nobler, badder. It was something to belong to, something that was ours. We weren't in Boy Scouts, in sports teams, or camping groups. The impersonations is how we wove something out of the threads of nothing. We all taking a pledge, Miguel Robles said, a pledge to be for each other, to stand up for the clica. The impersonations will never let you down. Don't ever let the impersonations down. Miguel was 11 years old, like the rest of us, dark, curly-haired, and good-looking. He was also sharp in running, baseball, and schoolwork, and a leader. Miguel was not prone to loudness or needless talking, but we knew he was the best among us. We made him president of our club. The Impersonations was born of necessity. It started one day at the school during lunch break. A few of us guys were standing around talking to some girls. Girls we were just beginning to see as women. They had makeup and short skirts. They had teased hair and menstruations. They grew breasts. They were no longer Yolanda, Guadalupe, or Maria. They were Yoli, Lupe, and Mari. Some of the boys were still in grass-stained jeans with knee patches and had only begun getting uncontrollable hard-ons. The girls flowered over the summer, and it looked near impossible for some of us to catch up. That day, a caravan of low-scraping cars slow-dragged in front of the school. A crew of mean-looking vatos piled out, armed with chains, bats, metal pipes, and zip guns. "The mystics rule," one of them yelled from the other side of the school fence. The mystics were a tough, up-and-coming group. They fired their rigged .22s at the school and broke a couple of windows with stones. They rammed through the gate and front entrances. Several not-so-swift dudes who stood in their way got beat. Even teachers ran for cover. Terror filled everyone's eyes. I froze as the head stomping came dangerously my way. But I was also intrigued. I wanted this power. I wanted to be able to bring a whole school to its knees and even make teachers squirm. All my school life until then had been poised against me, telling me what to do, what to say, how to say it. I was a broken boy, shy and fearful. I wanted what the mystics had. I wanted the power to hurt somebody.